You did your workout already, and now you can focus on your work and family. You're not thinking about getting it in later. So if you're a morning person, it's suggested, okay, go get done with it. I'm personally not a morning person, so I won't be able to give my best in the morning. I know. So for me, when it comes down to evening, like you said, you're right. Like I get finished from my work around 6, and then
Yeah.
my two kids now.
Yeah.
So do I work out or do I spend time with my kids who are going to go to bed in a couple of hours? So now that Noah is a little more, he's a little older, he joins me in the garage. But even when he didn't, I'll spend time with him, but then I'll
Hmm.
work at night as well.
Okay.
So I would say was number one, are you just tired, mentally tired or physically tired as well? What I like to do personally
Hmm.
is to see if I'm actually really, really, my body is not ready for it, or is it ready for it, and I'm just being a little lazy because I had a work day. Is I personally like a cup of coffee or tea,
Hmm.
then decide. Like
Hmm.
if I'm done after my work day at 6, I'm deciding, oh no, I'm tired today. Nah, I'm probably lacking motivation. I'm not that tired. I can take my. It's just that okay. I've been working. I'm mentally exhausted. So what I like to do to actually see if I'm really tired or I'm
Hmm.
just not good enough is have a cup of coffee or tea.
Uh-huh.
And I put on some motivational music or motivational videos, workout
Hmm.
videos.
Right.
And if I'm really, really tired, even after that coffee and even after watching those motivational videos,
Mm-hmm.
that point I was like, okay. But 95% of the time, in that 20 minutes of just on my coffee and watching motivational videos, seeing
Yeah.
how badly I want it, I'm a different person. So you just gotta reset it. It's hard to transition from workday to working out. So
Hmm.
give yourself a period of like a turn on and turn off of 20 minutes. I say,
Right.
drink your caffeine.
Mm.
Don't caffeine is not that terrible for you. The caffeine has its benefits. Don't
Yes.
go, don't exceed, of
Mm.
course, but drink your caffeine, watch motivational videos, and then decide. And personally, I also look in the mirror. You
Mm.
know, get naked. Look in the mirror. So for me, if I don't look good, if I see my belly, loose, flat, and flat, that's my motivation right there. I want to
Yeah.
transition. I want to change that. And
Right.
if I'm cutting and I have abs, that's my motivation too. Like, and I'm feeling myself. Yeah, let's get it.
I don't want to lose that.
Me looking myself in the mirror
Right.
is it's changed. So that's why I even in my performance, I see once I started working out in the garage,
Mm.
once quarantine started, I installed mirrors. My workouts before mirror and after mirror is completely different. That's why these gyms have this big mirrors. Well,
Yes.
absolute sense to me now, like why they have such big mirrors, because you feel yourself. You're working out, you see yourself. There's the additional benefits like you can check the form and stuff, but
Yeah.
just looking at yourself perform, even if you're being lazy, that should be your motivation. Looking in the
Mm.
mirror, if
Mm.
you're out of shape, and if you're in shape, yeah, you did it once, keep doing it. Get better, because
Yes.
last few months are, and like, sorry if I'm rambling, but like if you're a beginner, it depends on what's your why. If you're
Mm.
to be healthy, or fighting a health issue, like high blood pressure, or that's good, that's great. But I've noticed that people actually do not continue. It becomes more of, oh man, I work out. I think like you did, that was a kickstart to your like 45 days to fitness program.
Mm.
So it's a good starter, for
Mm.
you. Would give you a plan, and then once you got the feel of it, you saw the biggest thing is you gotta give yourself 2-3 months, and then
Yes.
start seeing some body composition changes
Mm.
where you're like, okay, that's when you start to get addicted to it. It
Right.
becomes, I'm telling you, you just have to be, you just have to have the perseverance for like 3-4 months to
Mm.
see results. And
Mm.
once you see those results, then of course, then it becomes an
It's not no stopping you because it's like self motivation, right?
oh,
As you said. I think that's what happened to you, man. I
like,
remember seeing you in 2013. I was like, this guy, he did something. He did something great. Yeah. So I mean, I was really impressed, man. I've been following you since a very long time now, with your gym in your garage and on that topic, right? So now you have your entire gym set up in your garage. Not everybody have that, right? So what is the I mean what would you like to add for people who are actually looking out to go to gym every day? Now the gyms are obviously closing, at least here. There's a second lockdown. So what do you say in terms of investment, in terms of to start with in the home gym, considering that people are just starting out, like they're not for that initial motivation, right? So what do you recommend people investing in, in terms of equipments or exercises?
oh, dumbbells for sure.
Dumbbells.
Dumbbells for sure. Especially if you're a beginner. Barbell movements could be a little technical, you know,
Hmm.
because barbell weights are gonna be a lot of money. That's a much bigger investment as well, and you have to learn. Like you can learn a little more easier on dumbbells as well. And
Hmm.
for beginners who are not that knowledgeable, if you just do barbell movements, you could have muscle imbalances if you're not doing it right.
Correct.
It's only like one like single-handed dumbbells, one for each hand. You will at least maintain, like for example, if you're doing 8 reps and you're
Hmm.
left, you know that after 6 reps you can't do any more on the left side. Stop doing it on the right as well. I would suggest. Do not make just keep lifting with the right hand. So yeah. Anyway, going back to your original question, dumbbells, because dumbbells are so versatile. They
Hmm.
are you can do from shoulder, chest, biceps, triceps, back. So they are the most versatile equipment. Like, I mean, of course, bands help. You know,
Hmm.
bands help as
The stretch bands, yeah.
yeah. But dumbbells, the one if you're looking for, starter is the dumbbells for sure. But the problem, I don't know about what's the situation in Canada, but here, dumbbells are like gold dust.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can find dumbbells here.
Yeah, it's happening here as well. So I think in between the two lockdowns, we managed to get some equipments. We bought some equipments through Facebook Marketplace,
Uh,
but otherwise every other store was like out of stock
yeah,
with
yeah.
respect to weights and everything.
Yeah. So I would like to add for those people as well who are like, oh, this guy's saying buy dumbbells, but we aren't going to find dumbbells in lockdown, because they're out of stock. So in that case, there's a lot of body movements you can do, body weight.
Mhm.
But I understand if you don't have access to dumbbells, in that case, if your goal is to lose weight, you still have zero excuse.
Yeah,
You can do so much.
so
Just
much
jumping,
just by body weight, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
jumping jacks to burpees to running. You don't like. So whenever somebody is trying to lose weight and they do not lose weight, I'm like, that's most likely on you. Your
Yeah.
diet, your all you have to like you. I think you started doing that. I was very happy to see your story the other day when you mentioned calorie deficit. I was like, this guy is right now. Is on right track for sure.
Yeah.
That's forget keto, forget intermittent fasting. In the end, calorie deficit is God. If you want to
Yeah.
lose, that's how you should do it. So if you're trying to lose weight and you do not have dumbbells, you know, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. It's in that case if you're just actually if your goal is like in my case, for example, my goal is now, as you can see, is performance. So if
Mhm.
I'm really tired, is it worth it for me to do a deadlift when I'm not gonna be able to lift my heavy? I might as well rest today and give my best tomorrow.
Mhm.
Because my goal is right now more performance based. But if your goal is just to lose weight, even if you're yawning and you're tired, you can burn calories. You could be just going for a walk and all that. Because
Yeah.
you just need to have being calorie deficit.
Mhm.
And for those whose goal is actually build muscle, and you don't have dumbbells or any equipment, ugh, yeah,
Yeah.
how many push-ups can you do, man, right?
Right.
And also in that case, even if you're focusing on body weight movements like push-ups and stuff like that, make sure, really make sure that you're working on your flexibility and mobility as well. You should,
Yes.
you can Google stuff like shoulder mobility exercise and all. Because what happens is when you go into this lockdown and just body weight movements, push-ups is the easiest one to do it on your own. And we are already like, we are driving like this, we are working like this, we are on phone like this, we are already shoulder internal
Shoulder.
happening, our posture is already back. And
Yeah.
push-ups, your pec minor, pec major get tight, and you're only gonna your bad posture
Yeah.
unless you're following it with literally like shoulder mobility and some back exercises and stretching and foam or like lacrosse, using a lacrosse ball, release those muscles. Don't
Hmm.
front overloaded like
Right.
doing squats. They're don't just try to get some equipments for like some exercise that you can do for hamstrings, you know
Hmm.
glute bridges, hip thrusts as well. Don't just get front loaded. It's very easy to get front loaded with body weight exercises.
Yeah, I'm just noting down some of the exercises you're saying. I have to maybe Google it later. Yeah, picking up on that, the part you said about, equipments and working out and losing weight. Now, the major questions that I get usually is, when people are starting to, lose weight, they have gained some few pounds due to, various reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, they are just starting out, they want to lose weight. Now, obviously, if we suggest something or they start out with HIIT exercises,
Mm-hmm.
uh, intense training exercises, it's not going to give them motivation at the beginning because it's really a lot of hard work for them,
Oh,
to start with. So in that case, how do you deal with people who come to you for consultation, or what do you say to them, to start with?
in that case, even if okay, hit could be really intense for them, and they're like, oh fuck this, you know. But so,
Maybe the first 2 days or first week would be great,
I
something, but then gone.
so they call it neat. So it's what they mean by that is uh increase your activity. Just in,
Hmm.
just to be in calorie deficit, go for walks. You know,
Right.
go for now. It's like my wife just birth, right, and her post fitness journey. So she
Hmm.
wants deficit, and now I'm cut. But now we fight over who's going to take laundry upstairs. We like no, let's go, or I just go do up and down. Whatever,
Right.
like, whatever is those little things count. Just
Right.
on that, it's so easy to, especially with these nice Indian web series that are coming out these days. 1 hour long episode, and you hit next another one. It's you know go for a walk, or you don't have to literally, like I said, in calorie deficit, just eat clean and
Right.
watch diet. you know like when my wife was pregnant and I eat parathas because my parathas inherently there is nothing wrong with it. It's
Mm.
potato flour, and if you use olive oil and not all the desi ghee and stuff. So this part of my plan, because my metabolism is higher now, so I can eat a lot. I wouldn't,
Right.
but I was once I started making them myself, like oiling it, and I'm
Mm.
saying one side I flip 120 calories, like one tablespoon. Then I flip another tablespoon, 240, and then I eat two. You're 520 just from my olive oil, and I'm like, damn, right? Like 520 just from the olive oil on top. Put on.
I can hear you right now, especially when I'm doing calorie deficit. I was like, the other day I had craving. I had like 200 grams of pakoda, and I had like 500 calories. I was like, crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was regretting it.
The oil is this, like, it's very because the fat. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. 1 gram of carb is just 4 calories, and 1 gram of protein is also just 4 calories. The secret fat, even though it's healthy fat from avocado or nuts, they
Mm.
sneak
Yeah.
this on you. So be careful, be wary. I was like, if my 520 is just from my oil on the piranha, the
Mm.
actual potatoes, I was like, I'm not even count that because it's coming out to just it's like almost 900 calories. So
Right.
in that case, if you're trying to lose weight, yeah, maybe not the best idea for you.
Mm.
Rather than do scrambled eggs with some chicken sausage or stuff like that. So yeah, you gotta be very careful with your diet, and it's not like don't go into that phase where 5 days, oh, I deserve this, and weekend is a binge. No,
Yeah.
and that beer, no, because even if you eat healthy and you're not burning a lot of calories by working out 3 hours, what you're doing is you're probably being in calorie deficit of like 200 calories a day,
Yeah.
300 a day. And overall, in 5 days, you have finally accumulated a calorie deficit of like 1400, 1500.
Hmm.
Sunday and Saturday, just that beer and pizza, they are so high in calories. Oh, you've already went past that. Oh, you're in calorie surplus overall. Now that, with 7 days cumulative. So,
I hope my wife is not hearing that because just last night I was craving for pizza and she said no.
uh, yeah. So,
So I hear you. Yeah.
so yeah, do walk more, do more activities, play with your kids more physical activity, and then be watchful of what you're putting in your body. you know you don't have to be because when you go on very strict mode like keto, especially if you're Indian, oh man, we live on bread, we live on our rotis and paranthas, then it's not going to last,
Yeah.
and it's not a long term. You will gain back, you will lose that water weight initially,
Mm.
because you're completely depleted of those extra carbs that are holding up your body, the body water weight. But it's not going to help you long term, but make small, and now I used to eat a lot. Now that when I cut, I feel like they say, right, your stomach shrinks, you know
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
yeah, now I don't feel like eating more, so smaller meals, very calculative meals, but I don't
Yes.
don't go nuts with macro counting. No, you know guesstimate. But once
Okay.
guesstimate, I make sure there's always enough protein.
Hmm.
My only exception is the paranthas in the morning, and I do that with eat that with yogurt. So
Okay.
there's protein in yogurt, but not as much. And and I justify it by eating paranthas because I follow it up, especially on the weekends,
Hmm.
right after I feel they are digested, into my heavy lifts. If
Okay.
I'm gonna do squats, if you're gonna eat paranthas and be like, oh, I'm using it as my pre-workout, I'm gonna do bicep curls.
Mm.
Oh, it's not giving you that. No, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
worth it.
Like if you're doing squats and something. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
one.
And also, I've noticed that, like, going back to my very original thing that we were saying, having coffee, after your
Yeah.
workday, it could
Hmm.
make sleep cycle in the beginning. Well, if you're like sensitive to caffeine, but also if you work out hard enough. That reminded me, the bicep curl thing reminded me. Even when you're drinking coffee and you're all, energied up, and you're just gonna do arm day. Oh, you're gonna be awake till 2 o'clock. So I drink coffee. Uh,
Yeah.
Later, it has to be like heavy movements like deadlifts, squats. They still exhaust me so much that I'm still asleep. My body is like, okay, good night.
Yes. Yes. That's true.
So, so yeah, going back to your original question, how do those people, you don't have to do high intensity interval training. You can do that low impact, steady state training. And so longer walks, burn more calories throughout the day, walk around the house. I like to call my family, and walk rather than
Mm.
check out Hanji, like walk around, be on the phone and walk. Those are you're burning calories, you know.
Basically, stand and walk wherever and whenever you can. Yeah.
These things add up. These things add up.
And
Don't
and how many days would you so let's say how many days do you heavy lift or weightlifting and how many days do you do cardio in a week?
uh my pre-COVID time, my cardio was 1 day.
Okay.
That was because I used to play soccer.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
So that was like, oh, I'm not doing that treadmill. Like soccer, okay, I don't even know, because I'm so involved, in the game that I
Mm-hmm.
burned calories just running around, and all my heart was in good condition because just from playing soccer a day. But now for me, uh, I do cardio at the end of my workout. Uh, so I would say, but not that much because I gotta make sure that. So I do mostly hit because I still like to maintain my gains. So I don't want to lose all the gains either. But of course, there's no reason being a big guy and die of heart attack. I want my heart to be good,
Yeah.
and so I do hit a lot. Some
Yeah.
so if I'm doing cardio, I'm done in 15 minutes because I exhaust myself in those 15 minutes of hit.
Right.
Sprints,
Mm.
or jumps and all that. So I right now I'm doing it. I think 2 to 3 days at the end of my lifting. Two,
Okay.
2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you do lifting also 2 to 3 times a week, or you
Oh,
do it every day?
I lift 7 days a week. Yes.
Maybe I'm asking the wrong question. What is your advice to a regular person like me?
Oh yeah. So for that, I would say basically even for me as well. I say,
Yeah.
but the seventh day could actually be a very light arms and ab day, which I count as my very light day. Because
Okay.
the bottom line is listen to your body.
Mm-hmm.
Your body. Like if your dip, chest, and shoulders are already sore, just because it's on your paper, it says, "Oh, Saturday is shoulder day," but for some reason, from holding your kid or something, you feel
Mm-hmm.
it's sore or something. Don't do that. Then try to find something else.
Right.
4 to 5. If you're a beginner, 4 to 5 days a week is good. Give and but make sure you listen to your body. And by
Okay.
and just because, oh, I'm so feeling tight, that's just because you are curled up in your bed, watching Netflix. Don't do, again, give yourself coffee, motivational videos, and stretching, and feel some mobility work, and feel, oh, are you really tight, or you were just tight, that temporarily tight because you were just in that position from last half an hour, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you can feel tight, but really that's because last half an hour you were like in this position or holding a baby,
Right.
so check it out before you do that. But yeah, for starter, of course, 7 days is a little too much of lifting for sure. And
Mm-hmm.
me as well, like I make sure, because once you injure yourself, oh, it's a big setback.
Right. Okay.
Back from an injury is very tough. So it's a very mindful 7 days a week. It's not like I go crazy that every day is bench day or nothing like that. So one
Mm.
day squat day for sure. Uh, then one day is bench, one day is powerlifting. Those days I rest a lot between sets because
Right.
my goal is more performance. Lifting heavy, so powerlifting kind. The other days I do like more bodybuilding style, like hypertrophy, like
Mm.
more 4 sets. Of 8 to 12 reps with 30 seconds to 1 minute of rest. So here's the thing: I could never decide what I want to do more: powerlifting or bodybuilding. I want to look like a bodybuilder, but I want to lift like a power lifter.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
That that's my goal. Like I couldn't choose between bodybuilding and powerlifting, so I think I'm gonna do both.
Mm.
In the years, and I'll just switch between what I want more. But powerlifting is a completely different ball game. So for beginners, I think bodybuilding is more and more fitness as well. Like by bodybuilding, uh, just I don't just curls and shoulder, but in that case, it's a combo of their endurance as well. So
Okay.
include your cardio, and don't just because that is very, especially in these modern world with when there's a Taco Bell every the street, and we end up eating bad food. No, no,
Yeah.
no. Make sure your heart is in good condition. Don't eat bad food, and do your cardio and your lifting. So lifting, uh, 3 4 days a week, steady state cardio, like low impact cardio, maybe 2 3 times a week, and 1 or 2 times at least hit. So
Okay.
don't have to be like it's only my lifting day. You can
Mm.
do. and something, some kind of cardio, if not I would say lifting day followed by some low impact, steady, cardio. And
Mm.
a hit day could be its own day.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's take the few minutes now and switch gears and go on to the diet part.
Okay.
A lot of majority of the questions that I get from a lot of my friends is what is good. I think we already covered a little bit over there,
Mhm.
but depending on your goal, right? So
Yeah.
from someone who's losing fat to someone who's want to gain more muscles, it's like if we could just match the column, right? Losing weight, maintain weight, build muscle versus diet, which is keto or some low carb diet like paleo,
Mhm.
intermittent fasting, and calorie deficit. What would you do to match these things together?
Uh, if you're trying to gain weight and
Mm,
like gain muscle,
mm,
unless you're like, and in that case, the beginners have magic powers. They can build muscle and burn fat. That's how our bodies work. They can do that in the beginning, but after lifting for a few months, that phase is sadly over for you. Then you gotta decide: are you gonna be in deficit or calorie surplus? What do you want more? If you get stuck in the hard process, I want to do it both at the same
mm-hmm,
time. Oh, that becomes a very tricky road, and it's a long road. It's a very long road. I like that road, but it's
mm-hmm,
time. And if you do not have the patience and the motivation to keep you going, then
mm-hmm.
because in order to gain muscle, you have to be in calorie surplus. In order to lose, you have to be in calorie deficit. You know,
That's right.
and so it becomes a very very when you're trying to just do calorie maintenance and still trying to do it fine with workouts and eating clean. First of all,
Mm-hmm,
in that case, eating clean is of great importance. You have that case. Since you're calorie maintenance, you're just changing the macros, more protein, a little fat, a little less carb. So you keep on maintaining muscle or slightly gaining muscle, same time not gaining weight. So that becomes
mm-hmm.
a very tricky road.
Right.
But let's start with if your goal is just lose weight, be in calorie deficit. The things with keto diets is they see initial results for sure because you lose a lot of water weight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, how you're seeing results, if you're continuing to see results, is because your diet has changed and somehow you're being in calorie deficit with
Right.
that. So that's how it happens. Especially with intermittent fasting, people see results, and that's not literally a magic done by intermittent fasting in general. But most of the time, what's happening is since you're not eating for such a long period, and then you are eating at one point, but you can only eat so much in one
Right.
sitting, right? Overall, you tend to be in calorie deficit. That's how it works. That's
So
how
eventually, it's like calorie deficit. That whatever diet you do
it's the
is calorie deficit. Yeah.
yes. That's what it is. So even if you eat your favorite foods, let's say you ate your pizza, but somehow you managed to burn more calories, than whatever you consume in a day,
Yeah.
you will still see results. Like
Right.
once you become really big, but that's why the lifting helps.
Right.
Actually, lose weight long term lifting helps because the one thing is for 1 extra pound of muscle you're burning 50 extra calories just at rest
Yeah.
without, let's say you're sleeping, you don't move all day, and your metabolic rate is such that you're burning with just laying all day, you're burning 1300 calories just for existence.
Uh-huh.
You have 1 extra pound of muscle, you're burning 1350 calories. If you have 2 extra pounds of muscle, 1400 calories just without doing anything. That's how these big guys can, when they show up
You
pictures,
eat so much.
can eat a lot because
Yeah.
their metabolism is so high that so in long term, once you gain muscle, long term you gain muscle, you're actually gonna help yourself lose weight as well, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So just one question from my wife here. Any supplement that you apart from protein, whey protein, there is anything else that you recommend taking when you're doing weightlifting?
For beginners, for most of the no, if you're taking enough protein, at least 1 gram of your body weight in pounds, uh,
Hmm.
then you're good. In that case, you're good. The other thing, once you get into more performance kind, then creatine really helps. And
Creatine.
the most searched ones, a lot of people see creatine as like, oh, steroid. No, no, no. Creatine has benefits, big benefits, and it is the most researched supplement along with protein powders.
Hmm.
And so creatine is helpful, but yeah, it's gonna help. It's gonna hold water. So
Yes.
you're gonna look a little big. So girls don't like that sometimes for some reason because they feel like, oh, they're looking more, buff. They think that, but uh, creatine is. But I wouldn't suggest that for just anybody. So it's only if you're focusing on performance, like because it helps you give a lot of energy in quick bursts. Like for example, one heavy deadlift or one big sprint.
Mm.
Creatine will help you with that as well.
Okay.
But other than that, protein bar is good. And once you start, like personally, I found that helped me, and which actually my doctor was okay with as well. My doctor actually started taking multivitamins because she was
Good.
a doctor, and she just wants you to have health that you need to eat. And she was actually okay with my joint supplement. So
Okay.
once you're going to really heavy lifting, because your muscles keep growing, muscles are where tendons and ligaments,
Hmm.
their health. How good is that? So it's not like I wouldn't suggest that only if you're 60-year-old and you're having knee pain, then have your joint supplements. So my supplements are basically right now the ones that I take protein powder. I hate drinking protein shakes, by the way. I hate drinking protein shakes, and for the longest time, I avoided it. And but they help,
Mm.
especially our more Asian diet. Uh, I like if it I do I struggle, especially when my breakfast. I struggle to meet my protein intake for the day if I don't take a protein shake. So I just gulp it like medicine. And so going back to the supplements I'm on, protein powder, creatine, and joint supplements. I take joint supplements
Okay.
because
Okay.
otherwise my bone health. Collagen. These days, collagen is coming out with great benefits too. So I just started collagen as well.
Okay. Okay. That's I think yeah that's a lot of great information. I'm still trying to process all of the information now. But as I think we are very close to half an hour. So but as before we end the call,
Mhm.
is there anything that you would like to say about what you are doing in terms of your new? There's another page I think you joined through that, right?
Oh yeah.
Fitness, Jimmy Fitness.
Oh
So
yeah.
are you doing something like are you doing consultations and you are helping people with that? What are you doing? So feel free to introduce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that started. Actually, it's been 3 years now. 2017.
Oh, so I'm late to know.
It's because I
Okay.
publish it to anybody.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I connected my other account, like my personal account, with my Facebook,
Uh-huh.
and this one was like initially I started just to track my own journey, you know.
Hmm.
So and people have asked me like if I train online,
Yes.
and I don't. I
Hmm.
do training in person, and my biggest reason for that is I just don't want you to be like, okay, do these squats, do these many reps on these squats. You could be doing squats with terrible form.
Yeah.
You could be hurting yourself in the long run. Just
Hmm.
you got if you're going for an online coach, more than his coaching, then make sure he's not greedy. You
Yeah.
know, because it's so easy. If you just want to know, do these many squats and all that, Google it. You'll find something. You don't need
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
to really feel. my training, I like to train them in person because I don't just want you to, get big or get burn calories. No, I want you to focus. I want to train you so that you can be independent. You
Right.
know, fix your form. You know,
Hmm.
teach you, which I all do. All in my in-person training is like, okay, I just don't want deadlift. Teach them the form for deadlift. Teach them the form for bench, so that they're injury-free long term. With
Hmm.
online, if I just assign them that, okay, you
Do
know,
this, do
do
that, do this, do
do
that.
that, you can do that on your own. Like, why are you even gonna pay me? And
Correct.
I go into the phase where I'm training them like virtually and all that. I don't know how much worth it's gonna be for my time as well, and I don't want to charge them too much either. So it's
Right.
let me just and because
So currently it's local in your area.
yeah,
Even with lockdown, you managed to do that.
I we stopped for
Yes. Yeah.
for the
And
stop.
it makes sense with two kids you have. You don't want to basically risk it, right?
Yeah,
Just
so
worth it.
I just one person, like, he's back now because he's basically working from home as well, and we he wears mask, I wear mask. I sanitize after him. I do not use for another day after he comes and goes. To
Right.
my garage gym. But yeah, that's how my page was started. By the way,
Yeah. And you need I actually a workout partner is always better. Anyways, so that helps in one way or also,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I suppose you already do that. So you already have a YouTube channel with that page or no? Like
No,
with your workouts. I think you should do that because it's very good. So the way you're doing 7 days workout, right?
yeah,
All 7 days. If
yeah,
you just upload your workouts, not complete 1 hour or 45 minutes workouts, but splits of it
yeah.
on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
it actually is a very good
But
platform, right? Even to have a side hustle or
yeah,
actually helping people,
yeah. That
who
is
are, because you already have a good setup with respect to cameras and your setup in the
yeah,
garage and stuff.
yeah.
It's really good.
And these days, the thing is, what kind of demotivated me, even I was trying to do that on Instagram. Like, okay, I'll get follow. Is these algorithms? It's
Yeah.
all a game now. It has so how to
That's true.
break the algorithm.
Yeah.
So software engineer in me, tries to mess with the algorithms. Like, what do they want?
Right.
They want in the end. And in at first, I don't know if you know, there used to be this follow, unfollow, bots, and all that within stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
right now, I think it's more. Now I think it's better. It's more content. If your content is good, people are saving it. You know,
Right.
then it's gonna get.
That's
At this point, I think I can criticize myself for not going, you know, full on with trying to. I'm bad at sales kind of stuff, or even I don't know. Like, I'm not. That's not my forte for sure. So that's why as well. Even in this, I just post. Okay, I did this. If somebody. So in this page, I don't know. On this page, people actually like me mostly because they see me do it every day. For
mm, yeah.
because teaching them much, even if they can check my forum, but I'm not, telling them exactly what to do and all that stuff. But they find motivation. That I gotten a lot. A lot of times I stop posting a lot of this stuff, and then I'll get messages, and people are like, "Oh, you're my hero." I'm like, "What?" like like I've gotten so many of that, and I'm like, okay, maybe I am doing it because I sometimes I'm like, oh, what am I doing this for? I realize till very late that how many people actually get inspired just by looking at you hustling every day, working out every day.
Hmm.
So yeah, but YouTube, I'll have to thank. Yeah, I was like, oh, when you messaged me like about going live, I was like, going live. Oh man, I don't know. I've never been live, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna say yes. Let's do it.
No, this is new for me too. Yeah, this live thing is new for me as well.
Yeah,
That's yeah,
yeah,
but it's fun, right? It doesn't matter. It's like you come and talk and people can hear you and get some getaways with it, like
yeah.
giveaways with it. But anyways, so It's been a wonderful session, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of information that we exchanged. Thank you very much again
Yeah.
for that. And all the best to you, and we'll connect again.
Okay.
I need more luck than you. I'm just starting, right? So a lot of information for me to process,
Sure.
right?
Message me anytime with any questions you have.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So guys, do follow Jimmy. I know there are a few people online, but I'll be posting this video. He has Jimmy Fitness, and you'll actually benefit a lot with all the posts that he posts on his page. I actually see a lot. I actually see a lot of your lifting, and that motivates a lot. So, anyways, thank you, Jimmy, and we'll talk again soon. All
Okay,
right.
sure.
Take care. Give my regards to everybody at home.
We will do.
Yep. Bye bye.